NFL action begins next Sunday with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
The Honey Bears trying to keep warm and warm up their Bear team. The defense again being tested as Atlanta is threatening. Myers came up with the big defensive play for a 3-yard loss. And so Atlanta's back at the 10-yard line, second and goal.
The last time in this situation they ran the draw.
Alan Page stopping Haskell, stand back inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Lenny Walterscheid coming up from the safety spot to help out. So it is third and goal, the ball at the 8.
Now we have an obvious passing situation. They're on the right hash mark, so most wide receivers, if they're going to run patterns on a cornerback, they like to run. This would be to the left. Now here comes Rickman out here to the left, and they would more have a tendency to throw to the left with more room.
Wallace Francis is wide right. He brought the play in. Bartkowski up the middle, complete, touchdown. Jim Mitchell, the tight end, coming into the middle, and the Falcons are on the scoreboard. 2 impressive drives. They came up empty against a great goal line defense for the Bears the first time.
And there's Mitchell coming right across the middle. Len Walterscheid is there, but Mitchell is so big he couldn't reach around him and knock the ball loose. And Jim Mitchell has caught his first touchdown pass since 1975.
Well, the big veteran, I'm sure, enjoys that one as he has his team ahead. The first points are on the board. And it'll be Tim Mazzetti trying for the point after. And it is good. And so Atlanta has jumped into the lead here in the final 2 minutes of the first half at Soldier Field. We have 1:19 remaining in the first half with Atlanta 7 and the Chicago Bears nothing.
Kennedy Center, showplace for classic productions. An appropriate setting for the 1979 Lincoln Continental and Mark V. Perhaps the last on this grand scale. This year there's the Collector Series, the most luxurious Lincoln, roomiest sedan in America, and a Continental Mark V with its own elegant roof design. A Collector Series Lincoln or Mark V. They'll make this year a classic.
This is one of the most advanced motor cars ever built, and it's equipped with one of the most advanced car stereos ever built. It's by Craig. Who else? A power play cassette system, AM/FM road-rated receiver with digital station readout that becomes an electronic digital clock when the radio is off. And it's designed to fit virtually anything you can drive. The DeLorean sports car is not available yet, but the Craig stereo is. Just see your Craig dealer. Who else?
Atlanta went 30 yards in 7 plays, and Bartkowski passed 7 yards to Jim Mitchell for the touchdown. It is 7-0, and you can see the clock at the top indicating 1:19 remaining first half. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris at Soldier Field. Tim Mazzetti set to kick it off. Wentford Gaines, Brian Baschnagel are the deep men standing at the 10-yard line. For Chicago, Atlanta in white to our right. A low kickoff, line drive fielded neatly by Gaines. Gaines jumps over one man, gets out to the 35-yard line, where the Bears will begin. And the man on the tackle was number 36, Bob Glazebrook, along with Pennywell, number 59. First down, Chicago at their own 35. They have 1:14 remaining to try and tie it up here before halftime. Let's see what they can do with their 1:14 drill.
Bartkowski is now 6 of 10 for 83 yards in the first half.
He has just been, as we've commented several times, looking better and better each week. Harper the lead back, Phipps throwing on first down. It's out to Payton. Payton, blockers in front, and diving for the first down yardage. Did he get it? Let's see. It looks like he did. They're going to mark it out at about the 47-yard line. He stopped the clock at 1:05, and the Bears have a first down.
Now watch how Walter, when he gets the ball, he's got it in front of him with 2 hands, and then he doesn't tuck it away until the last second before he's going to be tackled. He feels that gives him a lot more mobility and helps him to cut. So it's an interesting way that he carries that ball before contact.
First down at the 48-yard line. Wide left goes James Scott. Wide right comes Golden Richards. Phipps with time up the middle for Latta, incomplete. Greg Latta, the tight end. Double coverage on him near the Atlanta 35-yard line. Pridemore and Lawrence.
The pass was just simply too high. Latta could have had a reception there if the ball was down because he had inside positioning on the defenders. So we'll see what happens now. The Bears in a second down situation with 1 minute left in the first half, trailing 7-0 as Latta comes out.
Mike Cobb went in carrying the play. Let's see what the Bears staff comes up with here. Second down. Ball at their own 48-yard line. Phipps time again. Intended for Richards, incomplete. Overthrown once more by Phipps. Richards was open, as was James Scott crossing the other way. Third down.
Bear fans are becoming restless. And when Chicago Bear fans get restless, watch out.
Phipps is 3 out of 7 for only 23 yards passing. Now Latta comes back in, Cobb comes out, and it looks like Latta's delivering the play this time. Third down. 55 seconds, as you can see. That lower statistic, a key one for the Bears. 2 of 8 third down completions.
Here they come.
Conversions, pardon me, and that's complete to Richards. Richards trying to get out, and he does. With 48 seconds on the clock, and they really clocked Mike Phipps back there. Fawina and Dewey McLean really hit him back at the Bears 35 as he released the ball.
Boy, he really took his punishment on that time. They came with everybody, and just after he releases the ball, 3 of them clamped on Mike Phipps. And now, who's going to come in at quarterback for the Chicago Bears? Will it be Bob Avellini, who played for 9 games before being benched, or will it be Vince Evans, the rookie, who the Bears have been hesitant to put in?
Avellini is up and throwing on the sidelines as the trainers attend to Mike Phipps. He really took a shot from a hard rushing Atlanta defensive team. They got the first down. Richards was wide open. Lawrence made the tackle on him. The ball is at the 37-yard line of Atlanta, and Phipps is on his feet. We'll see it again.
There it is. 3 of them come all at one time. A nice pass and nice timing with Golden Richards. Lawrence makes the tackle, but Mike Phipps comes off the field, and Vince Evans goes in. His first play for the Chicago Bears in regular season, a man out of USC, Southern California Trojans. Great speed for a quarterback, great mobility. The rap on him has been erratic as far as throwing the football, and of course throwing the football is a big thing for quarterback, but Chicago Bear fans are excited.
Well, let's see what Evans can do. Phipps came to the sidelines, apparently all right. Vince Evans, number 8. Rolling out, and now taking off. And Evans gets inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Appears to have a first down there. 34 seconds on the clock. Timeout is called by the Bears. And they do have the first down.
Did you notice how quickly when he rolled out that he got around the horn and actually had a little bit of time to look downfield to see if he could see a receiver? There's no question he has the speed and mobility that most quarterbacks do not have.
The ball is at the 25-yard line. Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, highlights of the Los Angeles Times 500 featuring 1978 NASCAR champion Cale Yarbrough attempting to win stock car racing's final event of the year. Also the world's strongest men. The event is the wrist roll. Don't miss it. Competitors try to crank a 100-pound weight plus 10 pounds of equipment 10 feet off the ground as quickly as possible. If that sounds complicated, watch it and see what they're trying to do next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time. The world's strongest men. I might make fun of those guys, but never in person. It is first down for the Bears at the 25-yard line. And Neil Armstrong talking to young Vince Evans from USC, a second-year man, just 22 years of age, the number 6 pick a year ago.
He has in his contract, for the first 2 years of his contract, that they could not play him at any other position than quarterback. And now he is playing quarterback.
Brezina comes back in from the Atlanta sideline, number 50, the linebacker, to organize the Falcons defensively. Gives them the word from the defensive coaching staff. 34 seconds remaining. Atlanta in front, 7-0 as we approach halftime. Peyton Harper, the running back, shift into the throw set. Peyton at the top of your screen. Evans rolling again. He's got lots of blockers. Takes a hard hit. Number 54, Kuykendall, gave him a real good shot. Did he get out of bounds? Evidently not. 22 seconds. The clock ticking away. The ball down at the 15-yard line. 2nd and 1 for the first down. A flag is down, and it's apparently against Atlanta for not getting back quickly enough into position here to delay a game. 16 seconds shows on the clock, and that got the clock stopped. So a break for the Bears there.
What's the Bears' timeout situation?
They've got 2 left, by my count.
Delay of game, kicking the ball by the defense. 5 yards, first down.
The ball at the 10-yard line, first down.
With 2 timeouts left, I wonder why the Bears were scrambling so much with I mean, they didn't have a difficult timeout situation, but anyway, the clock is stopped with 16 seconds to go.
Vince Evans at quarterback. Wide right is Richards. Rolling again. Oh, they got him back there this time. Slicing through to stop him at the 15. See who that first man was. Number 28, Frank Reed, making the defensive play. 11 seconds on the clock. Timeout call by the Bears. A whole bunch of new troops come in defensively for Atlanta. They've got 1 more left after this one. The ball now at the 15-yard line of Atlanta. 11 seconds on the clock. Bashnagel is in to hold for a field goal try for Bob Thomas, and he will spot it at the 22-yard line. A 32-yard try for Thomas. And it's good. So Bob Thomas gets 3 points on the board for Chicago with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half at Soldier Field. A 32-yard field goal. And a couple of runs by Vince Evans helping to set it up.
I believe when he was in the game now, for every play, it was the exact same play, wasn't it? The rollout to the right. You got to do a few other things too, roll left or throw the ball once in a while, but at least as far as the Bears are concerned, they got on the board and will probably go in down by 4, 7-3 Atlanta. The Falcons could be up 14-3 had they been able to score from the 1-yard line with 2 chances to go. So this game is up for grabs.
The Bears went 50 yards in 8 plays for the field goal by Thomas. Next week on CBS, these regional games. Los Angeles at Cleveland, New Orleans in a rematch at Atlanta, and the Giants will be in Buffalo. Minnesota, Green Bay, a big one in the NFC Central. Philadelphia at St. Louis. Tampa Bay will be here in Chicago against the Bears. Thomas will kick it off. 8 seconds showing on the clock. 1 man back is Dennis Pearson.
And everybody's up for the onside kick. They're going to go with the squibbler.
Pearson chasing it. It goes out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. So Thomas will have to kick again.
The clock will remain at 8 seconds because in the last 2 minutes of the half or of a ball game, the clock does not start until somebody touches the ball.
7-3. It has been a defensive struggle. The Falcons doing their thing. They've been doing so well all season long. As John pointed out, they had a chance to have 2 touchdowns on the board with an impressive drive stopped by a very sturdy defense at the 1-yard line. The Bears coming up big. Although, as Johnny pointed out, it looked like maybe the Falcons could have scored if they'd got the halfback elevated a little bit. But credit to the Bears for stopping them.
I think the real turnaround for Atlanta, I know they won a big game last week, but remember when they were 1-3, and I think they were down 14-0 to the Giants, and
That's right.
came back with a big drive, got him back in the game there, a couple of fourth down situations, and they won that ball game to put them at 2-3. If they'd gone 1-4, it might have been all over for the Atlanta Falcons.
Into that Giants game that came off a terrible loss in Tampa, where they just did not look good at all, and we're down 14-0 the next week to the Giants. But back they have come. Pearson now goes out of bounds. 4 seconds left. Pearson doing a little dancing up that sideline.
They want a little time for Big Ben play.
Sure, one more try.
Now they have especially with the rule changes in the last year or so, where the ball just, if it hit one offensive receiver and went to another one with nobody hitting the ball, that it was not a completed pass. Now it can be. So they flood a zone. They'll flood a zone and have one receiver just kind of watch where the ball bounces in the air and try and make the reception. Let's see if they go with something like that. They must be planning something, or they wouldn't have run out of bounds.
Alfred Jackson was the man who got it last week on that play, and they're going to run it this time. Maybe just hoping to somehow spring Bubba Bean, but they did not. The Bears made the tackle. Hartenstein, number 73, and the half has expired. And that's the end of the first half. And the Falcons holding their 7-3 lead on the touchdown by Jim Mitchell, a 7-yard pass from Steve Bartkowski, and then Bob Thomas with a 32-yard field goal after the Bears came back upfield to get on the scoreboard 7-3, and so it's anybody's ball game here as the Bears are within reach of Atlanta now. And Johnny, certainly you've got to be awfully impressed with what Atlanta does defensively, and everything that everybody said they did well, they've shown us here today, because they have those linebackers. They're so active. You're often looking at what are 8- and 9-man lines on a lot of plays.
Yes, and I think it will be interesting to see how they react, and if the Chicago Bears go with Vince Evans in the second half, it'll be a whole different type of offense as far as the Bears are concerned with Vince's running ability. But the Falcons, as far as what they've done in the first half, off of that, their defense is in good shape. The problem is, offensively, can they sustain and control the ball like they did in the second quarter?
That's the end of the first half with the score: Atlanta 7, Chicago 3.
All the guys that do commercials for light beer from Miller are big stars and guys like that. Me, I'm just a humble bartender, but I drink light too. And I'll tell you why. It's less filling, it's got a third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great.
Jerry, now that you're a big star, can I have your autograph?
Well, sure, Mr. Dangerfield.
Hey, would you like mine?
Not really.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
How about my initials?
Oh, the things people do to decide between 2 TV shows they want to watch. Well, now you don't have to decide anymore, because with Sony's Betamax video recorder, you can actually watch a show on one channel while you're videotaping a show on another channel. That way you get to see both of them, so you don't have to worry about dreaming up new ways of deciding.
Okay, first one to the TV set chooses.
Nobody builds a rust-proof car, but Ford Motor Company gives you lots of kinds of rust protection. Every Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln car built in the USA is built in part with rust-resistant steel, vinyl sealer, and aluminized wax. Every car body gets sprayed with primer or dunked in primer and electrically charged. That's rust protection. That's Ford built. Ford built doesn't mean perfect. It means trying to build a better car.
Thanksgiving 1974, Dallas's Mad Bomber Clint Longley relieves injured Roger Staubach, and the Cowboys explode to a 24-23 come-from-behind win over Washington. You saw it on CBS Sports. Thanksgiving Day at 3:30 Eastern, CBS Sports presents Cowboys and Indians 1978 as the Washington Redskins do battle with the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys in an NFC East showdown. The Cowboys will be gunning to avenge a 9-5 loss to the Redskins earlier this season. That's the Redskins and Cowboys Thanksgiving Day. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger, and all you good folks in Chicago could be in for some snow if the winds are blowing right, because it's been snowing hard in Bloomington all afternoon. Let's get you up to date now on everything going on around the league. 17-6, Giants lead the Eagles in the third. And what would be a major upset The Cardinals lead the Redskins, but hold on because the Redskins are roaring back. It's 24-17 in the third. Tampa Bay leading Buffalo 17-3 in the third. New England and the New York Jets 16-10, and the Jets were walloped by those Patriots a couple weeks ago in Foxborough. San Diego missed an extra point in the snow in Bloomington. They lead the Vikes 13-7 in the second half. 7-3 Atlanta. Of course, that's the game you're watching, and what a goal line stand by the Bears. But the Falcons are moving toward the playoff. The Cowboys lead the Saints 14-7. Tony Dorsett and the Saints involved in a fight. We'll show you that action. And also right now, we've got Cleveland leading Baltimore 14-10. The Colts were ahead by 10 points. Burt Jones not playing because of that injured shoulder. Seattle and Kansas City 10-3 at the half. Seattle leads KC.
You know, Brent, there's a whole lot of strange things going on in the NFL this year. I think what it's called is whatever trick you can possibly think of. Let's try it. And I think Terry Bradshaw's probably the instigator there.
One gadget after another, like this piece of action last week. Fake field goal, inside shuffle. Houston gets a first down and later scores a touchdown against New England.
Here's that game earlier in the season, Cleveland against Pittsburgh, that went into overtime. Finally, this flea flicker is coming up every other day. Finally, Terry Bradshaw gets the ball and he throws it downfield to Cunningham, scoring a touchdown and winning that game against Cleveland.
And look at the Steelers celebrate. What a victory that was over the Browns. But I think the most entertaining play of all, and Johnny Morris mentioned it, and folks down in Atlanta are going to love to see it all over again. Time running out in the Superdome. Frank Kleber and Tom Addy were covering the action. Just time for one last desperation pass. Here comes Steve Bartkowski.
Bartkowski going low for Wallace Francis. Francis leaps. Ball is in the air. Oh, my God! Touchdown, Alfred Jackson.
Atlanta, desperation pass, and they do it, Frank.
All right, that's the way that game ended. And now, Irv, what about today? Any gadget plays?
Haven't seen many gadgets today, Brent, but of course the New York Giants right now in the third quarter lead the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 17-6 in the Meadowlands. And in the first half, Joe Pisarcik, a quarterback, had a pretty good day, completing 8 of 13 for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's the first one right there to Bobby Hammond to take a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Ron Jaworski tries to get the Eagles back through the air, but as he throws his pass, it's picked off by Brad Van Pelt. The outside linebacker sets up another scoring opportunity for the Giant offense, and they cash in as Pisarcik goes to Johnny Perkins, another touchdown, and the Giants take a 14-0 lead. The Eagles try to get back in the ballgame late in the second quarter as Wilbert McGrummey, the #1 running back, is back after being injured. He goes over, but the Eagles miss the extra point, and the score right now in the third quarter is New York 17, Philadelphia 6.
Let me show you what the St. Louis Cardinals were able to do against the Washington Redskins early in that game. Mike Bragg of the Redskins set back to punt. Willard Harrell is the deep man for the Cardinals, and it's a return center. Swoop. Got a hand on him and couldn't bring him down, and Bragg will get a shot, and he can't catch him. 64-yard touchdown, St. Louis, 7-0. This is how it was going for the Cardinals. Jim Hart to pass. Rule change, the ricochet, just like Atlanta of a week ago, 14-0. Hart again now, pulling out, dominating the Redskins. But hold on, the Skins about to come back. Gerald Williams on the interception, and then Theismann looking for John McDaniel. Great catch by McDaniel, pretty throw, 24-17, and here come the Redskins. All right, the NFL Today will continue on CBS right after these messages from your local station.
Get ready for Bobby Vinton's Rock and Rollers with Penny Marshall, Eric Estrada, and more. It's dance, it's roller skating, it's madness like Grease on Wheels. Coming November 20th.
This is CBS.
All right, back live now in New York. We're in the fourth quarter in several games, which could be considered upsets this afternoon. Let's start with Irv now and the Giants and the Eagles.
This may or may not be considered an upset. The Giants lead in the fourth quarter by a score of 17-6, and Joe Pisarcik, a quarterback, had a pretty good day in the first half, throwing 13 times, completing 8 passes for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's a first one right there to Bobby Hammond. They take a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. The Eagles try to get back through the air as Ron Jaworski goes to Wilbert Montgomery, but the ball's picked off by Brad Van Pelt, and
Johnny Morris back at Soldier Field with the score at halftime is at the Atlanta Falcons 7, the Chicago Bears 3. And with me here and up here in this nice warm booth is Eddie LeBaron, general manager of the Atlanta Falcons. And Eddie, what do you think of the first half?
Well, we always are happy when we're ahead, and early in the game that doesn't happen too much with the Falcons. We moved the ball halfway well at times, but not nearly as well as we need to, and that's been one of our problems all year. We don't move the ball consistently, and puts a lot of pressure on the defense, but so far the defense has been able to come through, and until that last little drive at the end where Vince Evans started running wild.
Yes, he could change the complexion of this game, at least as far as the defense is concerned, when you have a quarterback that's kind of mobile like that.
Well, I think that's true in the game today to a great extent. You have Grogan at New England. You have Burt Jones. When he's in there, Baltimore's a different ball club. I think mobility in quarterbacking is becoming more and more important.
Now, your defense is an aggressive type of defense. I mean, did you plan in building this team plan on that type of personnel, or has it just kind of come about?
Well, I think basically when we got to the Falcons, we had more experience on defense than we did offense. So we spent a lot of time and effort in the first 2 drafts building an offensive line, similar to what the Bears have done with your Link and Albrecht and people of that sort. As I said, the experience was on defense. They were a type of aggressive players. We teach that type of defense where everyone is coming full tilt, and so far it's been very successful. We do put a lot of pressure on teams, and they make mistakes along the way.
Steve Bartkowski has come along the past few games. I know he got beat out at the beginning of the year. Do you think that was a good thing for him overall, maybe?
Well, as it turned out, Steve has come back very well from a period when he was down mentally. He wasn't playing as well as we'd like to have seen him play. But after he did come back, we thought he's performed extremely well each and every week.
How about this team in the playoffs now? Your schedule, I know you don't like to say that the schedule's not too tough, but this team has a real legitimate chance at it.
Well, I think so. You know, there's a lot of teams. I think about 7 teams in our conference have a shot at it. And obviously we think about it at times, but we don't blow anyone out of there. We have to be very careful in every game. So we just have to see what happens in the end. We are very hopeful, though.
Well, things are kind of popping down Atlanta way. The Flames are doing well. Sports teams are starting to come along a little bit.
Well, it's got a lot of enthusiasm going in town, which is a great thing, and I think it helps all the sport teams when there is that type of enthusiasm.
Eddie, thanks for coming by. I'll let you go back in the warm press box.
Okay, John.
Okay, that's it for right now. Halftime, it's Atlanta, 7-3 over Chicago. We'll be back at Soldier Field in just a moment.
He sure didn't spend any time getting dressed.
Linda, tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Maybe he'd look better in Hager slacks. Or Hager sport coat and slacks. He could even afford a Hager vested suit. And that's a look I can't afford to pass up.
Oh.
Hi.
Susan?
Close enough. For me?
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
Ready or not, here I come.
Ever need to rent a car fast?
Nobody does it better. Hertz leads the others by far. Nobody does it faster for you. Hertz, the superstar.
Nobody has more of what it takes to get you into a new LTD or other fine car faster.
Hertz, the superstar.
That's my team, the Chicago Bears. And I'm Reeve Sori, and I want to show you why I love Chicago. It's big and it's busy. The crossroads of the continent with the world's tallest building. From the top, you can look out over America and see the largest inland port in the world. Watch the planes fly into O'Hare Field the busiest in the world. But a big city can be a lonely city. People can get lost, forgotten. That's why the United Way supports the very personal service of the Visiting Nurses Association. They take care of people who can't take care of themselves, the very old and the very young, the homebound. Through the Visiting Nurses and our United Way, the people of Chicago say, we care, we don't forget, you're not alone. United Way works in Chicago, and it works in your town too. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Tim Ryan back here at Soldier Field as we await the beginning of the second half, and the Atlanta Falcons on the touchdown pass from Bartkowski to Jim Mitchell lead the Bears 7-3, and they dominated on the statistical side of the ledger as well, although there was not a clear dominance, but they did outrush the Bears 73 yards to 62 yards, and they have done obviously an outstanding job defensively against Walter Payton. Payton did catch Gale Sayers to become the #2 all-time rusher on the Bears behind Rick Caceres. But here in this game today, he has not been an offensive factor, as that very aggressive Atlanta defense has shut him down awfully well. I guess the big question will be, is it Vince Evans when the second half begins, or do we go back to Mike Phipps for the Chicago Bears? In first downs, Atlanta had 10. The Bears had 7. And you can see they had the ball for a couple of more offensive plays, and total yardage, a difference of 56 yards. Bartkowski 6 of 10. And Phipps 4 of 8. Evans did not throw the ball. He just ran with it the 3 plays that he was involved, finally being dropped for a loss, and then the Bob Thomas field goal coming up in the final seconds to make it a 7-3 ball game. And the teams are now back out on the field, and we are looking at the Chicago skyline there briefly. On this cold day, the temperatures must be now below 30, and that has not been a factor so far. We have not had a fumble in the game. The only one that was popped up was caught by the Falcons' Dave Scott. I believe it was Bubba Bean, as I recall, was carrying at the time, and the ball got popped loose on a hit from Alan Page, but Dave Scott alertly made the grab on it. So there has not been a turnover that way. There has been one interception. Lenny Walderscheid picking off a long first down bomb from Bartkowski in the Chicago end zone. Otherwise, it's been a fumble and turnover-free game, and in that category, Atlanta is one of the very best in the league. There is Vince Evans, the young man, #8, warming up, throwing on the sidelines. The funny thing was that near the time after Phipps got hurt, Avellini jumped up and started to throw immediately, and it looked like he would be the man coming in. Evans was apparently just running in place on the sidelines, getting ready to do his running thing, and he was the choice of head coach Neil Armstrong when play resumed. And whether he'll be the choice now, we'll wait and see. We have no injury report on Phipps. He got up under his own power after taking quite a lick back there on a sack. So Bob Thomas will kick it off for the Bears to our left in the dark jerseys, and Atlanta to our right in white. The deep man is Dennis Pearson, #81, and he can scoot. They say he's the fastest Falcon there is. Thomas's kickoff is up, and we're underway. It is Pearson at his own 4-yard line, steaming up the middle and trying to get outside. The Bears turn him in well, but he got out over the 32 to the 33-yard line, where Atlanta will start first down. Gary Fensick, #45, on the tackle. St. Louis continuing to lead Washington 27-17 in the third period. The Redskins having their problems of late after an outstanding start. Tampa Bay doing it to Buffalo 24-3. They're in the fourth. Johnny Morris is back in our broadcast position here, having attempted to warm his feet over there in the press box. First down, Atlanta. Bartkowski, flag is down, and the pass is complete near the 50-yard line, and I believe Rickman was offside. Francis made the catch for the Falcons, but it looked like Rickman got started a little bit quickly from his wide receiver position on the left side.
The Falcons have suffered so much this year from penalties. As I said, they have more than anybody else in the National Football League, and it makes it tough to go downfield when you get penalties. And
you know, I talked about their turnovers. Let's listen to referee Tunney.
Offense number 82, still first down.
It was Rickman in motion there. We talked about their fine takeaway giveaway number, which in the NFC they're tied for 4th in that department. They have a +5, 31 takeaways to 26 giveaways, and they've recovered 21 fumbles, so they're an alert defensive team. 1st and 15. Bubba Bean is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Osborne was there, number 68, to put the grab on him. No gain, maybe a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and about 16 yards to go. Young Falcon offensive line. You heard Eddie LeBaron talk about it. Mike Kent is a rookie from Michigan, their #1 pick. Dave Scott, a 3rd-year man from Kansas. Warren Bryant, #1 pick last year from Kentucky. And they're going to grow with this Falcon team. Lots of time for Bartkowski. Complete. That is Wallace Francis, knocked out of bounds as soon as he caught the ball at the 35 by Terry Schmidt. Gained about 9 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down. They'll still need about 7.
You can see the Bears tried a little trick there, crisscrossed by their defensive lineman, but it didn't work. And the Falcons made the completion. And that's not, my voice is shaky, not because I'm scared, because I'm cold.
Oh boy. Well, you know, it could be worse. It could be December, John.
Yes.
Only November in Chicago. And everywhere else for that matter, as far as we know. Bartkowski back to the 25 to let it go to Rickman, and that is incomplete. So they fail to convert on 3rd down, and Atlanta will have to punt.
You know, we were talking about coldness. I don't think football players out on the field appreciate the fans until they retire. I never realized how the fans would sit in the stands and freeze and be still and just support a team, whereas down on the football field everybody's warm because you're running around and you've got the heaters on the sidelines. It's a whole different ball game in the stands. You freeze.
John James standing at his 20-yard line. Virgil Livers, the lone punt receiver. Blocked. Loose ball. Heron covers it there. And it was Bruce Heron, the linebacker, number 51, who blocked it and recovered it. Wasn't quite able. It might have been Myers who actually covered it. Myers was there with Heron, but it was Heron who blocked it, and he nearly took it in for a score.
And here he comes. Right straight up the middle, right in front. Gets his hands. He actually almost crossed in front of the punter too soon. He blocked the ball, and it was Jerry Myers, I believe, who stepped on it as Bob Avellini comes in at quarterback, and some of the Bear fans are booing that decision. Avellini had a rough time for a few games there and was benched in favor of Phipps. Phipps was injured. Evans came in before the half here, but now we're back to Bob Avellini.
1st down. Roland Harper, big hole. Satters his way to the 2-yard line. And that gives the Bears offense a lift. Fine blocking from the middle of the line.
Roland Harper, having his best years as Chicago Bear, gets a good block from Reeve Sori, gets through the hole, puts his shoulder down, and drives almost to the goal line. He's on the 1.5-yard line. Bears.
Bias and Pridemore stopped him from going in. Kuykendall was the man who was blocked out neatly by Reeve Sori. 2nd down. About a yard to go for a 1st down, and they're at the 2. Walter Payton, touchdown. Well, Payton showed how to get in there by going over the top. And the Bears go in front quickly here in the 3rd period off the block punt by Heron.
And this close, you don't even need a hole. All you need is a little spot to fly up and over, which Walter Payton does, and boy, does he hit his head. Boy, that can shorten the neck in a big hurry, but Walter put his head up and said, I got it.
So the Bears come up with a big play from the special teams early here in the 3rd quarter. Payton takes it in, and Chicago is in front. Bob Thomas for the point after. And it's good. And we have 12:47 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Chicago Bears have taken the lead as we see Payton come down with the touchdown. It is 10-7 Chicago.
When are we gonna get to Grandma's?
Dad, are we gonna get to Grandma's?
Darn, I forgot to put in Prestone. Take out the old, put in in the 2. Put in the Prestone, Prestone 2.
Protect against freeze-ups and corrosion. Take out old, weak antifreeze and put in America's most trusted antifreeze, Prestone 2.
Take out the old, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone, Prestone 2.
And when you flush your cooling system, use Prestone Super Flush.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of
Frank, we're
special.
on the trout yet?
No, but we're ready.
Okay, you guys, knock it off. I don't believe it. And a little something to go with it.
Lowenbrow.
Lowenbrow. And you guys don't deserve it, but my trout does.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Well,
Frank, we apologize. The beer's terrific.
Thanksgiving Day at 3 p.m. on CBS Sports. See Jack Party's Washington Redskins knock heads with Tom Landry's Dallas Cowboys. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Bob Thomas will kick it off for the Bears. Dennis Pearson is the deep man. He takes it at the 5-yard line.
Watch out.
He can fly over the 40 to the 44-yard line. Terry Schmidt stopped him. Dennis Pearson, number 81, with a fine return. A flag is down, however, on the kickoff play. Referee Tunney indicates an infraction against Atlanta.
That changes their field position situation. They had good field position after that return. Now they're going to start back from just, well, less than good field position. It'll be the 17-yard line.
Illegal use of the hands on the run back, number 55. First down.
55 is Ralph Ortega, the backup center linebacker.
Let's watch that touchdown again and watch Walter go up and over. And it's a good thing they make good suspensions and helmets these days, because he goes up and then his head hits and it bounces 2 or 3 times. Whoops. Back to live action.
Okay, Bubba Bean is the live action, trying the right side over the 20-yard line to the 21 for a gain of about 4. Bubba Bean from Texas A&M. Reeves on the tackle. 2nd and 6.
The Atlanta Falcons in the same situation they've been in many games. They're going to have to come from behind again to keep that 5-game winning streak alive.
Wide left comes Jackson. Bean and stand back are the running backs. That is Bubba Bean with a big hole up the middle. Bubba Bean first down to the 36-yard line. Walterscheid, the safety, number 23, and Fensick, the other safety, 45, on the tackle.
Good blocking by Mike Kinn and Dave Scott. Watch Scott, number 70, kick his man out, allowing Bubba Bean to cut back, and finally Walterscheid, number 23, makes the tackle with help from Gary Fensick. Good blocking by the left side of the Atlanta offensive line, especially by Scott.
Bubba Bean has 59 yards rushing now, Johnny, on 15 carries, having a fine day. First down, Atlanta. Sun still shining brightly, but cool temperatures. Intended for Francis, and incomplete. On the coverage was Schmidt, and I mean on the coverage. He really was right there. Got the hands around and on the ball.
That's right. At the precise time the ball hit Francis, he made the tackle, which is legal. Actually, Francis had position on him, inside position, and the pass was perfect, but so was the Bear defensive back.
Bartkowski has thrown the ball extremely well today. Has very seldom been off the mark. 6 of 10 in the first half. The 4 misses were close. 2nd down. Bartkowski, and that is incomplete, off the hands of Billy Rickman. Little high for the little guy.
There is Rickman going down, 6 yards hitch, comes back. The ball was just misthrown by Bartkowski.
Word from the Dallas game that Robert Newhouse has suffered a fractured leg. Tough loss for the Cowboys. 3rd down here at Soldier Field. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris with the Falcons and the Bears, and Chicago leading 10-7, an early touchdown. here in the third quarter, following a block punt by Bruce Herron. Bartkowski with pressure is sacked. The Bears got a good rush on. 3 of them were in there. Jerry Myers and Alan Page, Hartenstein, a lot of heat.
No chance for Bartkowski, and you're going to see 74. Jerry Myers comes on the inside and gets through to force the sack. Jerry Myers having one of his best games. He got inside Warren Bryant, did a good job.
John James standing on his own 10-yard line to punt for Atlanta. The deep man is Livers, awaiting the punt at the Chicago 40. So the Bears defense doing the job on that series. James, spinning punt, bounces back and is down finally after bouncing back near the 40-yard line of Atlanta, but was downed by Greg Brazina, number 50, at the 44-yard line. Oh, they're going to spot it back at the 41. That's where he made contact. Good field position for Chicago.
I'd like to show you how science helped create a new Mercury Marquis standard of driving comfort for '79. The most scientifically engineered Marquis in history and most beautiful. Computer-assisted design makes Marquis more spacious. No car in its class has higher ratings for room or trunk space. A new steering ratio makes Marquis more responsive. Even Marquis' ride has been re-engineered. Corners flatter, takes dips and bumps with greater stability. Test Marquis' new standard of driving comfort yourself.
If you've ever wondered how something so big got off the ground, part of the answer is light, strong aluminum. Aluminum's high strength and light weight made modern aviation possible. Aluminum is important to most forms of transportation because taking the weight off planes and trucks, and now cars, saves fuel. Aluminum in transportation can be an energy saver today.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Well, that 15-yard punt after it took the Bear bounce has Chicago in good position as we look at some more scores. And look at this one, the Jets battling New England. The Patriots really waxed them the last time out. Dallas in front of New Orleans, 21-7 in the third.
If Washington loses that game, that means Dallas and Washington would be tied.
Cleveland, Baltimore having a tough one in the third period. All right, Chicago first down here. This is Payton. And Payton has nowhere to go in the middle of that line. Number 79, Jeff Yates. Wraps him up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, maybe a half a yard. The word on Mike Phipps is that he is all right. Had the wind knocked out of him on that sack, so he was knocked flat on his back. Cobb comes in for Latta on second down, and they gave Payton a yard.
And Atlanta's made their defensive adjustment. They take their 2 interior linemen out and bring in McClain. Bailey and goes out, and so does Lewis.
Bawina comes in, number 74. Second, about 9, Avellini rolling. Now running.
Oh.
Avellini forced out of bounds near the first down marker. Not sure whether he got it.
Was that Avellini or Vince Evans?
I don't think he wanted to run. Vince likes to run with it. Bob was forced out of there. There was good coverage in the secondary by Atlanta. Let's see how much he got. It'll be third and about a yard, a little more than a yard. Giants in front of Philadelphia 17-12 in the fourth. The Giants are 5-6. Philadelphia 6-5 in the NFC East. Third down. Payton jumps out of the eye into the pro set. Got Robin Earl on the wing. They give us to Harper going for the first down yardage, and he has it. So the Bears keep it going inside the 30-yard line of Atlanta. Harper hurdling the line. Looked like Bailey, number 72, the man to knock him down. Ball just inside the 30. 9:26 remaining, third period. Chicago in front, 10-7, after trailing 7-3 at the half. Wide right comes Richards. Wide left is James Scott. Avellini will throw. Richards open, complete. Inside the 20, first down before he's driven back. Roland Lawrence number 22, and Frank Reed, number 28, on the tackle. And they made Richards pay. And remember, he's been playing with sore ribs for several games, and it looked like he got hit right in the ribs on that tackle. Gritty, ex-Dallas Cowboy player. You make that turn inside, you know you're going to get hit somewhere, and often in the ribs.
Let's take a look at it as he comes here. He kind of comes back a little bit for the ball. He's a little shy with it, but if you had bruised or broken ribs, you'd be shy too. Golden Richards.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find this near your home.
Oh, hi, it's me again, posting and pasting more posters. This time it's for the first annual Delco battery sale. AC Delco is making it possible for you to buy a Freedom battery at a special sale price.
Thanks, Delco.
Wherever you see this poster, look for it in your neighborhood for a great price on a battery you can trust. Thanks, Delco. Well, you'll be saying thanks, Delco, too.
Such a simple miracle. In every glass of Gallo Premium wine, like Hearty Burgundy, you can see the sun because Gallo cares. In every glass, you can see the good earth because Gallo cares. In every glass, the round and lovely grape because Gallo cares. You can see and taste the care that Ernest and Julio Gallo take. Go with the good wine. Go with Gallo Hearty Burgundy.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see highlights of the LA Times 500, plus the world's strongest men competition. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Chicago has the ball at the 18-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons following the reception by Golden Richards. Richards left the field, and it is Bashnagel in the slot left replacing him. Avellini is the quarterback. Phipps was the starter. Harper tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Number 75, Jeff Merrow, pulled him down after a gain of no more than a yard.
Jeff Merrow does okay for a bad toe. He's got this injury. I guess these injuries are going to become even a more part of a game when you have 16-game schedule. Get down those last 2 or 3 games, cold weather, all those injuries that accumulate.
Bawina into the game. Bailey out. Second down, nearly 10 to go. Bears lead by 3, threatening again. For Scott. Incomplete, overthrown. Lawrence on the coverage, but Scott had him beat inside.
The Bears are claiming a little bit of bumping there, and there was a slight collision between the two of them, but as much forced by Scott as it was Lawrence.
Well, that has to be a judgment call when the receiver starts downfield as to whether he ran into the defender or the defender illegally chucked him.
Chicago's 4 of 10 in the third down conversions. In that last situation, Scott had a man for man, no linebacker help or anything. It was strictly man for man.
Third down. Let's see what Chicago can do here. Avellini starting to roll, and they wrap him up inside the line of scrimmage. And the Boo Birds are out again. Greg Brzezina, number 50, and Fulton Kuykendall, number 54. Those very active linebackers, we've been talking about them all day. And they did the job. It is 4th down, Bears.
Bob Thomas is now 16 of 19 for the season, which is a very high percentage. He has a shot at Luke Rose's all-time record of 88% for the year.
They spot it at the 27-yard line. A 37-yard try by Thomas. Official timeout signaled. They're going to get a new ball. 7:31 to play here in the third quarter. Thomas is ready. Now Atlanta signals timeout. Well, Johnny, what do you figure there?
A little psychological warfare going on here.
It's a little early to take one of those.
Yes, to take a timeout that they could need towards the into the game.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit surprised by that call. You've got a tight ball game, no indications that it's going to break open. Offensively, it's likely to be a close finish. You would want to keep those, I would think.
They kept them last week, and it made a difference of winning or losing.
Well, the Falcons called it. And Thomas, trying to appear like that didn't bother him at all, just warms up, as are the Chicago Honey Bears. They've got the sweaters on this week, though, and I can't say I blame them for that. Pretty cold down there on the sidelines of Soldier Field today. 24 degrees at game time.
Bob Thomas has kicked some big field goals in his life. Of course, he came from Notre Dame, and the Fighting Irish are going to a bowl game this year.
Cotton Bowl again. 37-yard try. Thomas, it's up, and it's good. So Thomas does the job, and the Bears now go up by 6 on a 37-yard field goal. The score, Chicago 13, Atlanta 7. We have 7:22 remaining in the third quarter.
Nobody decides to be a drummer.
Ralph, please.
You just find yourself drumming.
Ralph, please.
It doesn't make you instantly popular.
Ralph, please.
And no one asks you to play their favorite tunes.
Ralph, please.
But with endless practice
Ralph, please.
and fanatical persistence,
Ralph, please.
you get there. Your drumming isn't just noise anymore. And you're not the only one who thinks so. When a lifetime of work has gone into playing a piece of music, Pioneer thinks you should hear all of it. So we design our high-fidelity components not to add anything or take anything away. That's why we've become #1 today with people who care about music. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.